All right, we're going to get started making our positive and negative shape art today. So you need a piece of paper, you need a ruler or a straight edge if you have one. If not, you should still be okay. You can start off using a pencil if you're afraid you might make some mistakes and you need to erase. And then pick either one color marker, colored pencil, or crayon. If you don't have markers, then pick crayons. I think crayons would work better than colored pencils because there's a good bit of coloring you're going to have to do. Make sure if you choose marker that you pick a marker that has a lot of life left in it, okay? Test it out and make sure it's not drying out. First thing you're going to do, and you might need a grown-up to help you, and that's okay, is you're going to fold your paper in half, okay? So I line up the corners as best as I can and I pinch it with my hand, slide my other hand across, and then make that fold. And then you're gonna fold it in half again. And the reason we're doing this is because the fold lines are gonna help make lines in the paper so we know where the middle is. Okay, there's my middle. And then you're gonna go ahead and take your ruler or straight edge. You could always use the side of a tissue box or something and line it up. If you don't have a ruler or straight edge, then you can just go ahead and draw over the fold lines. Use your marker, crayon, or pencil, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw, I'm lining up my ruler with the fold that I just made as best as I can, okay? And you're just gonna go ahead and draw the lines across. All right, next thing you're gonna do is in the middle, going on top of all of the 4 lines that you just drew, 2 lines actually really, you're gonna do an organic shape, okay? I'm doing like a free form wiggly jiggly shape because that's what organic really is. And then in each of these spaces, I want you to draw some geometric and organic shapes. So we know that geometric shapes are shapes we recognize, like squares, circles, stuff like that. Triangles, all that jazz. You can overlap these lines if you want to. And you're just going to fill up the whole space with different size geometric and organic shapes. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, now that you have filled the space, don't be afraid to go over these straight lines that you did in the beginning. You're going to start coloring, but watch what I do. I'm going to alternate coloring in the positive and negative space. Remember, the positive space is the objects or shapes, and then the negative space is the background or the area behind it, okay? So all these shapes are our positive space and negative space, but we're gonna keep switching which one we're gonna color in. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna go ahead and just color in. I'm gonna start in this area, and I'm gonna stop right when I get to that line, okay? And I'm just gonna color in this whole shape first. Taking my time. You can see now why I suggested that you do not use colored pencil, because it would take you a really long time. And now I'm going to go ahead and color in all these shapes that are in here too. I'm coloring inside of them, okay? Notice how I stop when I get to this straight line, okay? Notice how I stopped. Okay, so now I've colored in the positive space in this section, okay? We have 4 sections or quadrants. Now, over here, I'm not going to do the same thing. Instead, I'm just going to color in around the positive space into the negative space, okay? So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm not going over that line because that separates this section from the next. I'm going to stop right here too. Okay, so now you can see the difference, okay? See how it flips or it switches, okay? It starts to look really, really interesting. So you're gonna do the same in the remaining parts of it, okay? So right here, which one would I be coloring in? Would I be coloring in the positive space, the shapes, or would I be coloring in the background if I want it to be the opposite of this? If you guessed the shapes, the positive space, you are correct. So I would color in all of these, and then over here, would it be positive or negative space? Would I be coloring in the shapes, or would I be coloring in the space behind it? If you said the negative space or the space behind it, you were right. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and you'll see how it turned out at the end of this video. I can't wait to see how yours turns out too.